Charles and I settled here in the booth. This should be a fun one. Madden Ultimate Team matchup as you get a look at some of the stars here of today's game. Let's get right to it. The big left foot of Sebastian Janikowski ready to get us started. And we are underway in San Diego. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
That kind of kickoff return is something we call a momentum play. So if you're the offensive coordinator and you have a script of plays that you plan to run, you may change it up now because you may decide to go for some bigger strikes and try and keep the momentum going.
Now Foles. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Stop made there by Julius Peppers.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
They don't want to waste this outstanding field position on this opening drive as they come up on third down. Here's Foles. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down. Now on fourth down, Jack Del Rio's going to send on the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive for them here on their home turf results in a field goal.
Now that's the way you want to get things started. Your stadium, your crowd, you've got the ball, put points on the board first, and let everyone start to celebrate.
They come up in an offset eye. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now Moore. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Carlos Dunlap in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
More now. And that is incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. And that brings up fourth down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Out comes the San Diego offense as they get set to see what they can do here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. And they'll run it here. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Two yards to go here on 3rd down. They'll come out in the pistol. Foles. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
Fair catch taken right at the 10-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too. Okay, work with me here. Make sure I'm clear on this one. Inside their own 10-yard line, and they run a toss play. I know it works, but ordinarily that takes a lot of chutzpah to do something like that because the only thing more dangerous is trying to throw the ball in that situation and maybe taking a big loss.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. Brennan Gordon, Charles Davis back with you as it's OKC. Offense in a little bit of a bind here. 9 yards to go on 3rd down. Play action fake. They'll look to throw. Finding time. They've got his man complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic. So anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The intended receiver, Tavon Austin, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Time running out here on the play clock. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Play clock winding down. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And it's complete to Jacob Tamme. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Looking to throw. He gets it to Thomas. So 1:56 to play in this first half. We'll come back to San Diego after this timeout.
This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday call.
Lucky 56! Lucky 56! All right, now, lucky 56! Lucky 56!
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Now Janikowski for the field goal try. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights, and that will tie us at 3-3. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
And now San Diego getting set to go. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
It's complete to Lockett. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Now a play fake here on first down. He's got time. Out to the left here to Reed. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
As a general rule, receivers love the comeback route because it puts them right in the sight lines of the guy throwing the ball. But in this case, the defender saw it and were able to knock it away.
Will the defense dial up the pressure? Let's see. 3rd and 11.
Come back, come back.
Here's Foles. Looking for Austin, intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And now back out comes the offense. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Moore. It's hauled in by Shepard. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really...
And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver as the first half is winding down. And his guys have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this 2nd quarter. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's brought down. So we've hit intermission. Yeah, that's perfect. 2, Davis, deep. I got to go. Okay, and sorry about that. Didn't know Larry got cut off early. We are back and ready for the 3rd quarter. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
The play clock's running down. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? when the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And they only need a little bit here. Third down and very short. They'll need to get the play off quickly. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now fourth down. Pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. And with a play clock getting closer to 0, John Harbaugh is going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Here we go now.
They're going to try and throw. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. They come out here in the eye. They go play action here on first down. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on first down.
That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on first down. Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Foles. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue where they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
A decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they do inch a bit closer.
Yeah, still lots of time to go in this one. Take the points, move on, and let your defense try to get the ball back.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Time running out here on the play clock. On 2nd down, Hill. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. They come out here in the eye. Play clock winding down. More now. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Sean Lee coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Marquette King now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now San Diego getting set to go. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And we're back now in Mission Valley and San Diego. It's Charger football, but they trail here as we get going in quarter number 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he cuts it right sideline. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that's how you run the football and run it successfully. Big-time chunk of yardage picked up, but why? Offensive lineman won at the point of attack. Their leverage way better than the defenders. The low man wins when you're getting underneath and trying to move people. And that's exactly what happened on that play. The offensive line moved the defensive front, created space, and the end result, a fantastic run.
They'll run. This is Hill. And not much running room. Down to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now Foles. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
So this offense really needs to make something happen here late in the 4th with the football. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Here's Foles throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Around 2 minutes to go, and if the D can hold them, that'll end this one.
We always think about the offense attacking. In this case, I'm looking for the defense to do the same.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. Back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And as a result, possession switches hands. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got to stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now, starting to take their tape.
Now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Hill, the lone setback. He'll get the football here. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
There's no doubt that his size is a factor, but I've seen a lot of big running backs in the league not have that kind of impact because they don't run like a big back should. Get behind their pads, as they like to say, lower center of gravity, and knock people backwards. Sometimes they run too upright and take too many hits. Not this guy. He knows how to...
And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And this defense looks for 1 more stop here on 3rd after the run. They come out here in the I. They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Now let's go. Green.
Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. Looks like he'll throw here. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. We are set, ready to rock for this Madden Ultimate Team matchup, and these guys on your screen ready to rock as well. Some of the stars of today's game, and speaking of the game, let's get right to it. Steven Hauschka now about set to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
The Conley's got it over the middle. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now Moore. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Nine yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down. And the play clock's running down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's got the hook up with Conley. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball. And sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Moore now. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He gets it to Thomas. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
3rd and 11, and some extra depth in the secondary here. They're in the dime. They'll look to throw again. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights. And the opening drive of the game yields 3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. First down. Here's Cousins. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Now, hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. A first down throw for Cousins. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. 12 yards on the pickup, and that leads to a Los Angeles first down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Now this offense ready to take over again. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's OKC football here to begin quarter number 2. But likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. So on fourth down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. This is taken at the 10. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch here as this offense will come on deep in their own territory. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And a first hookup with his veteran tight end, Dallas Clark. A gain of 6 there on first. So Dallas Clark with the catch there, and he stands number 4 all-time in Colts history in receptions.
And that goes all the way back to 1953 in Baltimore. Number 4,
yep.
2 of the guys ahead of him are Hall of Famers. That's how impressive that list is that Dallas Clark is on.
They go play action here on first down. And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. It's a pickup of 21. And it'll be a Los Angeles first down.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. That was well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. This is Bush. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
On the slant, he gets it to Clark. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Dallas Clark, 27 yards. And his guys have taken the lead. The tight end can kind of be that diamond in the rough secret weapon that you have, and right there they show you why.
And it's becoming less of a secret, isn't it, partner? Every game that we do nowadays, the tight end is a featured receiver, not just a blocker, as in the days of old.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he's certainly not a guy that drops that. Football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Now a handoff. Here's Hill. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Time running out here on the play clock. They stick on the ground on first down with Hill. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
2nd down following the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. There goes Jeremy Hill. Touchdown. Jeremy Hill, 57 yards. And his guys are going to retake the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. And now they're in the hurry-up.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, That's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Cousins on first down. And his throw is incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target. And now it's second down.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And Graham's got it over the middle. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends are creating so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Reggie Bush as the first half is winding down. And his guys have once again taken the lead. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They send Thomas out to the right by himself. Moore now. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now Moore. He's got time in the pocket. Looking deep downfield. And this one is incomplete. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And quickly, they get to the line. They'll try the right side with Bush. A gain of 3, second down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this third quarter. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They come out here in the eye. They're going to give this one to Gronkowski. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They're going to hurry back to the line now. They give to Bush going right. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37. Now 3rd down, less than a yard.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to...
Now hang on here, timeout called by the defense. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. And he is going to lose yardage here. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
It's caught outright by Graham. And he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. And they're going to speed things up here. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They send Thomas out to the right by himself. Now Cousins. Throwing left side. He's got Clark complete. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. Now, the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And now it's 4th down. So on 4th down, Andy Reid decides to send in the field goal unit. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that moves them up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
They begin the drive with Hill. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. The slot man in motion right. They run it again with Hill. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Hill. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. As we've got the final quarter upon us, we get ready to start the fourth. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because you usually have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down right around the 25. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Play clock winding down. Again, it's Hill. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22. The Hall of Famer Jack Youngblood there on the stop.
Boy, what would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Time starting to run out here in the fourth. This defense just trying to keep the offense off the board and preserve this potential victory. The play clock's running down. On play action, they'll throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And as a result, possession switches hands. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And the offense here just looking to stay in bounds, complete the short passes, and put this game on ice. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. Now a play fake here on first down. Over the middle, open is Thomas. It goes as a pickup of 23. And that leads to a Los Angeles first down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They go play action here on first down. It's caught outright by Graham. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner. And usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
And he is going to lose yardage here. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They come out here in the eye. Cousins to throw. And that is incomplete. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Hauschka's kick is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So barring something extraordinary, something crazy here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Brandon, this will be a great win for them. The better team's going to win this game, no question about it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there. But they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
And they're going to go soft on the corners. Now Moore. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They're in a good spot. 2-possession game, barely, but a 2-possession game here late. Now they just have to put this game on ice.
Let's face it, right now, they're talking about ball security, taking care of it, not allowing anything crazy to happen, because we've seen nutty things happen down the stretch, but they also have the security of the scoreboard. With that type of a lead, even if something goes haywire, they're still in good shape. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Reggie Bush, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. So a little icing on the cake there before the clock hits all zeros.
What a way to finish things off. Exactly what you want. Not much time and a touchdown to put things away.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This will be taken about the 12. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final whistle there with the late points and then the kickoff to end it.
Yeah, and the best part about it is just seeing how teams battled all the way to the end, you know. Didn't really matter. The scoreboard was pretty well set, but they still competed until the final whistle.